Now, examining the true nature of the mind, you can observe that in its natural state, it has no preoccupations or issues prevailing upon it.
It's like a piece of cloth or a flag that has been tied to the end of a pole. As long as it's on its own and undisturbed, nothing will happen to it. A leaf on a tree is another example. Ordinary, it remains quiet and unperturbed. If it moves or flutters, this must be due to the wind, an external force. Normally, nothing much happens to leaves. They remain still, they don't go looking to get involved with anything or anybody. When they start to move, it must be due to the influence of something external, such as the wind, which makes them swing back and forth. The pure mind is the mind without attachment. It doesn't get affected by mind objects. In other words, it doesn't chase after the different kind of pleasant and unpleasant mind object. This is how it is with the happiness and suffering we experience. When these mental states arise, they are just happiness and suffering. There is no owner of the happiness. The mind is not the owner of the suffering. Mental states do not belong to the mind. Happiness is just a state of happiness. Suffering is just a state of suffering. You are merely the knower of these. In the past, because the roots of greed, hatred, and delusion already existed in the mind. Whenever you caught sight of the slightest pleasant or unpleasant mind object, the mind would react immediately. You would take hold of it and have to experience either happiness or suffering. You would be continuously indulging in states of happiness and suffering. Unpleasant mind objects make you suffer and pleasant ones make you happy. This is the world. Mind objects come with the world. They are the world. They give rise to happiness and suffering, good and evil, and everything that is subject to impermanence and uncertainty. Through wise reflection, you can see that you are subject to old habits and conditioning. The mind itself is actually free, but you have to suffer because of your attachments. Take, for example, praise and criticism. Suppose other people say you are stupid. Why does that cause you to suffer? It's because you feel that you are being criticized. You pick on this bit of information and fill the mind with it. The act of pick-up, accumulating, and receiving that knowledge without full mindfulness gives rise to an experience that is like stabbing yourself. Not getting involved with things means knowing without clinging, knowing while laying things aside and letting go. You still experience happiness. You still experience suffering. You still experience mind objects and mental states, but you don't cling to them. The mind is the mind. Mind objects are mind objects. Once you know these two phenomena as they are, whenever they come together, you will be mindful of them. When the mind experiences mind objects, mindfulness will be there.